I mean, when you say something and you mean it, you're gonna make it happen. I mean, with perfect example, my father. If he said he wanted to fight somebody, that year he'd fight. Very glad that Ryan Garcia is taking those fights step by step. He's climbing up that ladder to hard opposition, and but there comes a time where, I mean, there's enough easy fighters, I should say, or like those Mexico fighters that you just you ask somebody still if they want to fight or not. So I feel like me studying him, he can't fight on the inside. He's very dangerous at a certain range, but once you cut that range and you take that left hook away from him, I mean, what really is he? I mean, he's known for that left hook. He's known for being fast. But if you take that away from him, you cut the distance and you're on the inside, which he doesn't know how to fight on the inside. Whenever somebody does come on the inside, he covers up like this and tries to land that left hook or that body shot. Trust me, I'm telling you, I'll break these fighters down.
You see, Devin has a belt, though.
Yeah, email belt, right? The Amazon Prime belt.
I don't know. I mean, I watch Twitter. I've seen that.
Right. Look, going back to what I said, if you're fighting the number 2, the number 3, the vacant belt, I don't know how you sleep at night. Like, I won the championship. Like, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. It's just, that's what boxing is right now. So a lot of people are amazed by these knockouts over here in Mexico and stuff like that. Like I said, going back to you got people who you're fighting somebody's Theo or somebody's uncle. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you got to build a resume. You got to get your name out there, and I totally understand. But like I said, I'm not for that. I'm here to fight the best. I'm here to put on a show. I'm here to not just get some bum out of here in the first round. I'm here to give an action-packed fight. I'm a fighter at the end of the day, and I feel like fighting the best brings the best out of me. So I feel like fighting in Mexico, fighting people who you could fight with your eyes closed and knock them out isn't really helping you. Devin Haney, like I said, he's a very amateur style, with that little fast jabs and certain stuff like that. You see a lot of that on the East Coast with a lot of these fighters from the East Coast, quick jabs, trying to box and et cetera, et cetera. I feel like he has more pop than people think he does. Kind of like Floyd, it's not really hard, but it's sharp punches. Mm-hmm. And accumulation of those sharp punches really do hurt you, especially in a 12-round fight, et cetera, et cetera. So I feel like Devin Haney, if he can, establish more inside game, I know he sharpen up. All these fighters, as a fighter, you sharpen up over time. So hopefully they stay on this path, and they continue to get sharper and sharper and sharper. And, hopefully he wins a real belt. I feel like that'll be an easy belt for Ryan Garcia. I feel like it's a credible name, but I don't feel it's something that, everybody should be amazed about. And I don't mean to knock Ryan Garcia or anything like that. He's a great fighter. But I just want to get in there with all these guys, man. I just seeing some of these pros, seeing some of these, the way they fight, et cetera, I can't help myself but to break them down as I watch them. And like that term, that saying goes, idols become rivals. So, I mean, I'm talking about them now. I'm just putting them on notice, So, just give me a couple more years. I know that 130. I'll probably be 140, 47, 152, something like that. I'm big. So, right now I'm fighting at 132.
Yeah.
16. I feel like a lot of these fighters are taking the easy route. They're fighting the number twos, the vacant belts, the belts nobody's heard of, just to become champion. And I feel like that isn't boxing. I feel boxing was at its all-time high when champions were fighting champions, when champions were unifying with other champions, and that's what made boxing what it is today. And I feel like some of these fighters are diluting it, are diluting the sport with just talk and talk. At the end of the day, we're in the fight business, the hurt business. So if you say something, you mean it, you get in the ring and you squash it, and let the best man win, So, like I said, a lot of these fighters are on Twitter beefs and wars, and I'm not about that. If I say I want to fight you, I'm gonna fight you, and I'll see you in the ring. That's it. So that's what I think about the 135 division. Look, right now I don't have a voice to be, saying stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. So right now, my thoughts personally is, and this is an opinion, these fighters are just circling around each other, and kind of what Floyd and Pacquiao did. People are gonna get tired at the end of the day.
Okay, what about Gervonta Davis?
Gervonta Davis, going back to what I said, you can be a phenomenal fighter, as gifted as Gervonta Davis is, but drinking, partying, smoking, just a lifestyle it consumes, and you lose focus. I think it was Evander Holyfield. He said it's hard to wake up to train when you're in silk sheets, So he has the money. He's living the lifestyle right now. But when you have to go back to what got you there, which is boxing, such a beautiful sport that like I said, shows every part of you in the ring, whether you like it or not. Gervonta Davis. He's an animal if he's focused, and missing weight, et cetera, and he's having some issues, been locked up. I don't know, but it's just sad to see such potential wasted, like Adrian Broner as well. Amazing fighter, but if you let that scene consume you, it's all downhill from there. So.
Okay, Teofimo Lopez.
I've seen a couple fights from him. Very sharp. He needs to know how to slip a right hand. His last, I think it was second to last fight. I fought some taller dude or something like that. He couldn't slip a right hand. And I feel like, it was a lot of hype, and then he fought better opposition, and then I don't know what happened there, but I don't know if it was an off night. I know some fighters have off nights, but in the pros, you can't have no off nights. You're in there to win. And but a great fighter overall. I feel like he has more than enough to become, a phenomenal fighter. Hard hitting, has that pop, showmanship, which a lot of these top fighters have, because that's what gets them to being those top fighters, that showmanship. And that's something you can't teach. As much as people want to try and be this and that, and if you have that showmanship, it's going to show,
Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. Who you got?
Lomachenko, Teofimo, how soon is the fight?
It was supposed to happen in April, but I guess as soon as they open up, it's gonna happen.
I feel like Lomachenko.
I know you got Lomachenko.
Yeah, but it just worries me that you just need a tune-up fight. I know as a fighter, coming back from a break like that, you kind of want to get some of the rust off. Me personally, he's been so inactive. Because training and sparring is different from a fight.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. So I feel like he just needs to get in there, some journeyman, something like that, just a little tune-up fight, and he'll be good to go.
Okay, Haney Garcia.
Haney Garcia. I feel like Devin Haney can outbox him. I feel like Ryan Garcia. I mean, you can't throw shots that are so hard and for 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he gassed himself out. I feel like if he would pace himself, it would be an interesting fight. But I see Devin Haney outboxing him, like he did in the amateurs. I feel like with more rounds in, and Ryan Garcia kind of losing his head, I can see that playing out. So,
Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia.
Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. I got Gervonta Davis. Like I said, Ryan Garcia does not know how to fight on the inside. He keeps you at a range where he could hit you with that left hook if you do step in. Gervonta Davis, he has beautiful head movement, quick, hard hitting, and he has explosive power. So, I mean, he could boom, hit you, and like you didn't even know he hit you. So, I feel like, especially him being southpaw too, that's a certain look that we haven't seen Ryan Garcia fight, especially at that caliber of a fighter. But like I said, it all depends if Gervonta Davis comes in focused.
Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis.
Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis. I got Lomachenko. I feel like Lomachenko, being smart as he is, he can get into the mind of Gervonta Davis, kind of make him lose his head, and just outbox him. He has such great movement. I feel like Gervonta Davis, his only thing is when he loses his head as well, he kind of just loads up, and that can really get you tired, especially if you're fighting a veteran that can do stuff like that on purpose just to get you off your game. My dad always tells me, primero inteligente, luego valiente. So that means first smart.
Intelligent. I see it.
There we go. See, you know a little bit of Spanish, and intelligent and then violent. So when you lose your head, you kind of miss out on opportunities. You tend to forget, especially when you hurt somebody. A lot of people just go for a knockout, but like Mikey Garcia stays on his jab, stays there, and you remind yourself what puts you in a place to hurt the guy. You using your jab, you being smart. So I feel like if Gervonta Davis doesn't lose his head, I don't know. He's, like I said, he's a beast when he's focused, but lately he's been dealing with a lot of stuff, and I feel Lomachenko is smart and can outbox him.
You want to spar Lomachenko?
I would love to. Lomachenko is one of my boxing idols, and I look up to him so much, and his angles and his the way he sets up his shots with touching and feints and movement and all that. So I would love to get in there with him, just learn, and I mean I'm cool with getting my ass whooped, but just as long as I'm learning, as long as I can take a little piece and keep on taking pieces and add it to my style.
113 and 10, so 113 wins and 10 losses only.
Yes.
And we know how amateur judging is.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. So some of those losses, kind of, even though they were kind of bogus, they make you do certain things to where it's an absolute decision that you won. I get mad at myself if it's a close fight. I don't like winning close fights. I like clean fights where a lot of these people are saying, oh, they pay the judges, this and that. I mean, if they're paying judges, let me know. I'm trying to get a couple more W's in my resume. So whoever's accepting payment, let me know. But like I said, those losses definitely did shape my amateur career. I know one for sure. I lost to a very tall fighter, probably twice my height, and I couldn't get in the inside. And since that, I probably replayed that fight a million times in my head. And me and my father worked on. We found nothing but tall sparring partners, and made me move my head and find ways to get in the inside and cope with the length and advantage that they have. So I feel like that was one of the key, losses that made me able to fight tall fighters. If I feel like if it wasn't for that loss, we would have just kept on doing what we were doing. But I feel like your losses make you who you are, and that just doesn't go for boxing. That goes for life. Along the way, I don't know if a lot of people know I have asthma. So any day that I'm out there at a tournament, a week-long tournament, it could act up, and I'm so grateful to God that it doesn't. So I'm in there, competing and being at the top of my game with asthma. So any kid that says they can't do sports because they have asthma, those are excuses. If you love something, you'll do whatever it takes, And sometimes when I'm feeling it in training camp before a fight, I'm feeling my asthma, I push more because I know the day that I have an asthma attack or something like that in the ring, I can't quit. It's not in me to quit. And
we know.
And the thing is, if in amateur boxing, if they see you with an asthma problem, they're disqualified.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because I feel like it keeps me close to God. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I feel like I wouldn't be here without God. So, like I said, any second of any minute of any day that I'm out there fighting, it could be cold, it could be hot, it can mess with my asthma, and it never does. So I'm very grateful for that. I was the fat kid, right? Nobody thought I was going to box. I told my dad, I want to go to the gym on Monday. I want to box. My brothers boxed before. My father always taught us how to protect ourselves, but my brothers kind of left it alone, and they had their sparring gear, stuff like that, and they didn't think I was going to box. So I used all their hand-me-downs, all their, they didn't think they thought I was going to leave it alone, right? And, I'm telling you, I used every last year till the pattern was coming out of it, out of my headgear, out of my gloves, and it's just I'm very glad that my parents raised me the way they did. They gave me everything I needed and more, but with values, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
Ian, my last question to you: who was the toughest sparring that you ever had?
My toughest sparring would have to be my guys, Angel and Chavez, from Pound for Pound Boxing, Barrientos, Angel and Chavez Barrientos.
I know them. Yeah.
Yes. They're doing their thing in the pros, and they give me good work, and we go at it. Those are the type of sparrings you have to pay for. So like I said, I don't believe in easy sparring. I don't believe in light working. I feel like if you're in the ring with me, and you should be trying to take my head off, because that's only making me better.
That's what I'm saying. 135 division is all talk. That's crazy, man. They got Twitter fingers. It's crazy. See, the thing is right now, if I'm gonna be real right now, I'm gonna be real about boxing right now. They don't fight the champion like they used to. They don't, they fight the number 2 for a vacant belt. They fight, my dad beat the champion. Nobody thought he was gonna win. It's just, it is what it is now, man. A lot of it's more about, followers and stuff like that. And mandatories and stuff like that. But like I said, they're fighting the vacant belt. They're not fighting the champions. Boxing was at its all-time high when champions were fighting champions, unifying belts, etc., etc. So, I mean, if you want to talk boxing, let's talk boxing.